keep it down.
Well, morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. We're back, dude.
Yeah.
We're back after a long weekend. Hopefully yours was a good one. It is the 14th day of October 2025. It's a Tuesday. My name is Nick. I present to thee radio's Big J.
Hello.
Big J, how was your long weekend?
Oh, it was great, man.
Yeah?
I needed it. God, I needed it.
Just hit the old reset Big J button?
Yeah. Since the family reunion in August, been on the run. Like, just it felt like the most stressful time of my life was September and the beginning of October.
Lots of stuff was going on in old Big J's life.
It was pretty crazy, so it was great to have that time just to melt into my bed.
Very nice. You ready to go fire on all cylinders for the next couple weeks again?
I guess.
Running all over the place? Although that's not entirely accurate. It just sounded fun. But yeah.
Do our best.
But welcome back to the grind, Big J. I'm glad you had a chance to reset and had a wonderful weekend. We talked a little bit. You played some Battlefield 6, right?
Yep.
To the nines. Do you have a new squad? Do you play with the same group of people? You just pop in a game and do your thing? You're officially on the online stuff now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Played the campaign. It blew. I was bummed,
man. These that appears to be a running theme with these first-person shooters for you these days. When was the last campaign, you can include Call of Duty in this, that you truly and honestly enjoyed?
That would be Call of Duty Cold War.
And
it's phenomenal.
Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Probably 4.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Loved it. But, it was set in the 80s. It was...
Oh, it was like they hardwired into your brain to come up with a video game.
That was awesome. Plus, the online part for a period of time for Cold War was great. I loved it. But after that, it was just, they went Fortnite-y.
Are you at least enjoying the multiplayer version of this Battlefield 6 game?
100%.
Great. Then you got your money's worth, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Then that's truly what matters. We are going to try to give you your money's worth today on this show, and a reminder, you pay nothing for it. We have an opportunity for you to go to a couple of shows, some of which are sold out, which are very, very nice. We also have a chance for you to pick out a movie for Big J. Remember, it is Halloween, which means we have transformed into Screaming Dumbass. All of these will be horror movies that Big J has to sit down and watch. And so far, we're 1-0 in the spooky season, Big J, for movies you've enjoyed. We're going to try to keep that trend alive, if that's okay.
Mr. Crockett!
And see if there's another movie that Big J can enjoy in the horror realm. We also have a chance for you to get $500. That's going to happen a little bit after 9 o'clock. Textual Healing kicks back off here. We are going to have some fun with that, courtesy of Dollar Loan Center. We are excited. And, of course, the immortal Rhonda Shear joining us on the show today, Big J.
Amazing.
The return of Up All Night, this time not on USA, it's online, and she's going to tell us all about that just in time for Halloween as well. So we are excited to have Rhonda Shear on the show. Plus, we play music like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, kicking things off here on the X.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Big J, you were holed up in your man cave this weekend, so you may not know some things that happened at a couple of hotspots here in the state of Idaho.
Hotspots here?
Yeah, specifically Bogus Basin and Brundage.
Oh, yeah, man.
Both of those particular ski resorts got their first snowfall of the season over the weekend, dude.
Oh, damn.
Sunday, it all came down.
That's right. Winter is here.
Signaling the approach of winter and the countdown to opening day for both of those resorts. Bogus Basin reported 1 inch of snowfall overnight into morning, while Brundage Mountain in McCall woke up to 2 inches, blanketing the slopes from summit to base, which is always nice. Now, forecast called for another 1 to 3 inches between that day and today, so Brundage could be getting, quote-unquote, dumped on, Big J. Now, warmer, of course, temperatures return later on the week, so all that will probably go away, but with snow on the ground and winter weather in the forecast, we start talking about opening dates, Big J. Bogus Basin could open limited terrain as early as November 8th, weather permitting, of course. Brundage is going to host its annual Pray for Snow party on that very same day, Friday, November 8th. The community celebration's got some live music, some food and drinks, a bunch of giveaways up there as well if you want to make the trek. But that resort is targeting opening day on Friday, November 28th. That, of course, depends on weather and snow conditions, but we are almost, Big J, in ski and snowboard season.
I mean, yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It's like it's getting cold.
Yeah, we've almost had our week and a half of fall, and then we will transition into winter.
Why? Why can't we just have a few weeks of, like mild weather? Like 70s, high 60s even. I'll take that.
It's going to be back up in the 80s later this week. And so there's no rhyme or reason
I didn't
to
see
it.
that in there.
Hang on, let me double check, because I thought I saw that in my web.
I didn't see 70s.
No, you're right. I'm way off. Never mind. I'm way off.
You crackhead.
Yeah, I'm on crack. Big J, Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson is not having the greatest season.
No, he's having the worst season.
He lost his starting job to Daniel Jones. That already happened. He wasn't even the backup this past weekend to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, part of that is because of some situations that happened. Wasn't a coach's decision. Here's what happened, Big J. He was in the locker room getting ready, warming up for the game against the Cardinals. And he was doing some resistance training with one of those, like, bands. You know what I mean? That looks like a big old rubber band.
Yeah, the resistance training.
Yeah.
Like you said, right?
And basically what happened was that thing, whatever it was hooked up to that was providing the resistance to him, ended up giving way. And that thing snapped right back up and hit him right in his damn eyeball, dude. Broke his eye socket.
Jeez.
So he had missed the game on Sunday, had to go to the hospital to get it looked at. And I'm guessing he's going to be out for a bit. Don't know if there's any permanent things, but I imagine a busted up eye socket's not great, right?
No.
Probably doesn't feel good.
Embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I think it's probably more the embarrassment.
More embarrassing than, did you see the footage of Chardavius Ward, their stud cornerback that gave himself a concussion in warmups?
No.
So he's running routes and apparently oblivious, because everybody's got headphones on, right?
Yeah,
and
they're going to be cool in their own head.
And so they're getting ready, and he just did not see, as he was trying to, just running a thing, trying to grab a pass, somebody led him right into another player that was on the field, and he just straight up cracked his head against another player and was out in the pregame warmups. He gave himself a concussion. He missed that game as well. Colts still won, but it was close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a bad warm-up situation for the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday, in case you're curious. Big J, you're not planning any trips to New York anytime soon, right?
New York City?
Get rope?
Nope.
Wonderful, because you would not be able to see a broadcast or a Broadway play, because Broadway musicians have voted to authorize a strike as negotiations with the Broadway League over a new contract have soured. Results released Sunday show 98% of union members supported the move. The vote signals unity, but does not guarantee a strike still. Talks are ongoing this week. Both sides may bring in a mediator. Musicians have worked without a contract since August 31st, and it's tough to do Broadway plays, Big J, without any music. You understand?
Yeah.
And so I'm also guessing probably the productions as well as the actors would probably want to be in solidarity with their coworkers and not try to kick up that dust. You know what I mean? So we will see what happens there. But right now, things are contentious between Broadway musicians and the rest of the people that pay their money. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X-Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the TDS 5. To the old, we're digging deep into the depths of Netflix. It's Streaming Dumbass on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
All right, welcome to Screaming Dumbass. It is the month of October. Every single movie that's up for grabs today is going to have a horror spin to it. That's the way that we play. But Big J wants to watch a movie. The catch is he can't pick out his own. That decision-making process has been left to you via text message. Going to give you three options. You're not going to hear the stars nor the title of the movie, not yet anyway. You're just going to hear the plot description given to us by the streaming platform on which you can find said movie. And based on that plot description, you have to select a movie that you want Big J to watch by texting in movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. 208-287-1003. The movie that gets the most votes, that's the one that Big J watches. It's as easy as that. And we want as many people as possible to vote in to avoid any kind of ties, because those are bad, and then I have to make the decision, and I already know what the movies are. And so it just reeks a little bit of unauthenticness, if you will, if you don't pick the movie. You understand?
Get your ass to texting.
So it all goes down to this. Here's what you know, Big J. All three movies are horror movies, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Movie number 1. Friends unwittingly unleash a curse and an unspeakable evil once trapped. One by one, they come face to face with fate, racing against death to escape the future foretold in their psychic readings. Movie number 2. Curtis and his family are selected to test a revolutionary new device, a digital assistant called AIA. Now, what that does, Big J, is it takes smart homes to the next level. But as AIA begins to learn everybody's behavior and anticipate their needs, it soon makes sure that nothing and no one gets in the family's way. Movie number 3. Young Peter is plagued by a mysterious constant noise from inside of his bedroom wall, a tapping that his parents insist is just in his imagination. As his fear intensifies, he starts to believe that his parents are hiding a terrible and dangerous secret.
Ooh.
Movie number 1, curses are never good. Movie number 2, worst house ever. Or movie number 3, what's that sound? Those are the 3 movies you have to choose from. Which one sounds the most spooky to you? Which one do you think will give Big J the scares? Which one will make Big J vomit up his dinner? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself.
That's a great movie thing.
And cast your vote based on those questions. 208-287-1003. Text movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. We will tabulate the votes and let you know the name of all 3 movies, including the one you pick. That's going to happen next on the X Rocks. Green Day JR here on the morning after with Nick and Big J. Big J, I am going to ask you a series of yes or no questions to wrap up Streaming Dumbass.
Okay.
Have the votes been tabulated?
Yes.
Is there a clear and decisive winner?
Oh, yeah.
Are you prepared to give me those results?
No. Yeah, of course, man.
What movie came in last place and got the least amount of votes?
Receiving only 1 vote.
Damn.
Movie number 1.
Movie number 1 is called Tarot, Big J, based, of course, on the cards that you may be familiar with. Unfortunately, this deck of tarot cards was cursed. It stars Harriet Slater and Jacob Batalone. You may remember him from the Spider-Man movies. That movie is available on Netflix if you would like to watch it. And the one person that enjoyed the cursed tarot cards, that is where you can find that film. What movie came in second place?
Movie number 2.
Movie number 2 is called Afraid, Big J. That stars John Cho and Keith Carradine. That movie also found on Netflix. If you thought the smart home horror film would be right up your alley, that's where you can find Afraid. Sounds to me like you're watching movie number 3, dude.
Overwhelmingly.
That movie is called Cobweb, Big J. It stars Lizzie Kaplan and Anthony Starr. You may remember him as Homelander on The Boys. That is what you will be watching. You can also find this one on Netflix, so that is where this movie is located. The movie is called Cobweb. If that sounds interesting to you, you can pull it up on your Netflix, watch it alongside Big J. You think about doing maybe one of those virtual watch-alongs? You know how you can do that in the world of online streaming these days? Like host a party where other listeners can jump on and watch the movie with you? I don't know. I know you can do it on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't think you can on Netflix.
All right. Well, then I'll be picking Prime movies next week, and maybe you can host a watch-along. But, of course, Cobweb is the name of the film. That is what Big J will be partaking in. You were going to want to tune in around this time tomorrow, where Big J will give you a full review and let you know if it is approved for Screaming Dumbass this October. Morning after with Nick and Big J. We got ourselves some important stuff, and we're going to hell on the way here on the X Rocks.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
The important stuff brought to you by Team Mazda and the pre-owned superstore. Getting financed at Team Mazda, it's easier than ever, dude. GoTeamCredit.com. That's the website you need to go to. Get it all checked out and ready to go. Everybody gets pre-approved. No effect on your credit. Try it. Log on to GoTeamCredit.com today. Get rocking and or rolling, Big J. Halloween is coming up, dude.
Yeah.
October the 31st. It's a Friday. Kids are going to be running around trick or treating. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But a new survey of about 20,000 Americans reveals that Halloween is not great for their snacking. The average American family, Big J, will blow through their Halloween candy stash twice on average before October 31st arrives, meaning they go to the store, they buy candy for trick-or-treaters, they eat it all. They go again, buy more candy for trick-or-treaters, they eat it all, man. It's calling their name. And then finally, the third time is a charm. Whatever they buy at the store is good to go for Halloween trick-or-treaters. That's a lot, Big J. That's a problem. That means we're consuming a lot of candy in the month of October as a collective unit. You understand?
Yeah.
And 55% say they always say they're not going to do it. But before you know it, dude, they're grazing on that trick-or-treat candy. You know what I mean? And then they're like, man, that stash is pretty low. There's no way it's going to last us for our trick-or-treaters. We got to buy more. And then it happens again, and then finally they're good. Many admit to procrastinating on buying Halloween candy for this very purpose. They know their willpower does not let them be able to have candy laying around the house. And so they'll wait until like the day before or 2 days before to grab the candy. That way they're less likely to eat a whole bunch and maybe just are left with the leftovers if there are any. So there's that. The interesting thing is, despite the fact that there's more Halloween candy sold than ever, the price of Halloween candy, obviously, Big J, very expensive. So 40% of people planning on distributing non-food items this year, including things like fidget toys and friendship bracelets to accommodate everyone and not just, and maybe save themselves some money. I do this, although I do candy as well. I allow every kid one piece of candy and a fidget toy. I like to spread the love around. It was something that I'm not going to say I came up with the idea, but I was like, why did I do that? I've got tons of fidget toys because I have a child on the spectrum, so I have so many that are just in boxes around the house, and because you buy these things in bulk, that I'm like, why don't I spread the love a little bit? Maybe not everybody wants a piece of candy.
Yeah.
Maybe they can have some fun with it. And they are cheaper than candy right now, so maybe it's something that you think about, not necessarily as an alternative, but maybe in an addition to. That's my pitch.
Great idea.
But are you a grazer, Big J? If there's candy in the house, trick-or-treat style, is that candy in trouble?
It never used to be that way, but now, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you already purchased the candy for the Halloween trick-or-treaters or no?
No, because we're not going to be trick-or-treating. We're not going to have... the wife's going to be working, so we're going to have the light on the porch shut down. I won't be in town. Friday after the show, I'm leaving to L.A. to go see John Carpenter.
You're not going to leave out a bowl and say, take one?
I guess not.
Oh, man. Those poor kids. You're a full-size candy bar family, too. That's a real hit to the neighborhood.
Well, I mean, the neighborhood doesn't have a lot of kids left in it. You know, we're in that transition time where new families haven't come in.
Fair enough.
So...
Fair enough.
It's been pretty slow the last couple of years.
You're on your own, Middleton. Figure out how to get your own full-size candy bar somewhere else.
Yeah, stay out of Victory Heights, kids!
Not going to get it from the Big J house. Big J, the NFL has its first coach firing of the year. The Tennessee Titans, off to a 1-5 start, have fired Brian Callahan just 6 games into his second season as head coach. The Titans only won 4 games with Callahan at the helm and decided now is a good time to make the change. Chad Brinker is the president of football operations. He has said, quote, "We have not demonstrated significant growth. Our players, fans, and community deserve a football team that achieves a standard we are not currently meeting." I don't know if that's the head coach's fault.
Yeah. How about you don't fire the good head coach?
Which one was that? Oh, Vrabel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think they just probably needed a change of atmosphere there. But that team was not going to be good no matter who the head coach is. That's the real problem. It's a real New Orleans Saints situation. I feel bad for Kellen Moore, but you are in a talent kind of like negative space. You know what I mean? You've got a couple of good players. I still don't know how good Cam Ward is going to be. I don't know if he was worth the top overall, but that offensive line is rough. You got some great players on defense, but it's not enough to help you out. And so I think Tennessee has got a lot more problems than who's leading that crew. But Mr. McCoy's taken over, Big J. You remember him as the head coach of the Chargers that would always get to the playoffs and then crap down his leg, and that cost him his job there. And so now he is taking over Tennessee, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm guessing the Titans aren't expecting a lot of huge things going forward. You understand?
Usually not.
Is it possible, Big J, we may not have seen the last All-Star concert under the name Back to the Beginning? If it sounds familiar to you, that was the name of the final Ozzy Osbourne show that took place a couple of months ago before he passed, where probably the biggest names in all of rock got together and paid tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, and then he performed his final songs both with Black Sabbath and as a solo career. But apparently there has been a trademark application filed here in the United States for the Back to the Beginning name to be used for entertainment services in the nature of live musical performance. Now, according to the Daily Mirror, that says that an application for the UK trademark is expected to be filed soon as well. And so does that mean that they're going to be putting together like a series of concerts as a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne with a bunch of people getting together and playing his music of Black Sabbath and Ozzy? I don't know, but it is an interesting thing that this is happening. It could also just be to merchandise it. Who knows? But it is an interesting kind of thought. And Big J, if that's the case, how does that make you feel?
feels like a money grab.
Yeah, kind
And
of.
then it's just not, you can't replicate what went down in
Why would you
Birmingham.
want to?
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
perfect.
Let it stand as one of the great concert events.
But I get it. We are in a business that takes advantage anytime that they can. So I guess I'm not really surprised. I'm just kind of disappointed that this is a thing. But then again, I don't have anything to be disappointed about other than filing a trademark. It's not like they've announced a bunch of shows where it's a bunch of bands getting together. We still don't know what this means. It's just interesting that it's happening. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. Shall we go to hell, Big J?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it next then. It's the X Rocks.
Incredibly up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Rotten hell, you worthless maggot!
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
I sympathize, Big J, and I think you do too. Because living with chronic pain cannot be easy. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, there's lots of things on me that hurt on a pretty regular basis, but I wouldn't consider myself living with chronic pain. I just consider myself a dude in his upper 40s that's out of shape, right?
Yeah.
But there are certainly lots of things that can cause situations like this. And if you have lived a majority of your life with, let's say, for instance, chronic back pain and nothing is alleviating it, there's a puncher's chance that you could do something pretty bonkers to try to get rid of that back pain just in case it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me introduce you to a 69-year-old woman named Lisa Ling. And Lisa has been living with chronic back pain for the last 40 years. That's a long time to live with anything. You understand?
Yep.
And, she had gone to the doctor. Doctor had prescribed painkillers. She didn't like the way that they made her feel. I get that. I understand it. And it really just kind of dulled it and didn't get rid of it. And so she had been trying some unconventional approaches
Uh-oh.
to getting rid of her back pain. We know this because on Friday, she showed up in the emergency room with some serious stomach problems, Big J. She had some problems swallowing. She had serious stomach cramps. She hadn't gone to the bathroom in 3 days, so she knew things were not right?
Yeah.
And so she started talking to her doctors. Doctors were like, listen, let's get you in the MRI machine. Let's make sure you don't have a tumor or something else going on there because this seems interesting. They took an MRI. Everything went all clear. And that's when she sat down and she's like, okay, I'll probably confess to you what I think may be happening here. She was trolling around online, Big J, and she heard the possibility of if you swallow live frogs, you may be able to alleviate back pain. And it would go away. So
how on earth would that make your back pain go away? But
She's-
it's desperate.
she's
I get it.
69 years old. She doesn't have access to this stuff. So
At least she's not 67.
she reached out, 6'7". She reached out to her family and it's like, hey, listen, I think I want to start collecting frogs. Do you mind seeing if you can roll around your house and try to capture some small to mid-size frogs? And they're like, I guess, Grandma, sure. And so they
Yeah,
were
you're not
able-
going to eat these grams, right?
They were able to collect 10 for Grandma. When she sat down with doctors, Lisa's like, yeah, I mean, I think I ate like 8 of them. So she got 8 down. Yes, they were live when she ingested them. And then they're like, okay, so now we kind of know what they're looking for. They did a blood test on her, and sure enough, Big J, she had an abnormally high number of oxyphil cells in her body. That's a telltale sign that she has a parasitic infection, Big J, or some kind of blood disorder, one of the two.
Yeah, gross.
And so swallowing the live frogs damaged the patient's digestive tract so much that allowed parasites to enter into her system.
Oh, my God.
And so she had 3 tapeworms, Big J, from these frogs.
Not 1, not 2, 3.
Yes. So she had a pretty good hit percentage of getting this stuff. Now, parasites are commonly found in people who come in contact with live frogs or live snakes, and that's what ends up happening. Now, once they knew what they were looking for, they were able to treat her. She made a full recovery. She promised not to eat any more live frogs because it didn't help her back pain either. But now we, Big J, have a cautionary tale about the risks of running online and maybe looking at a folk remedy or whatever the case may be and going, that might be something I try. Because you don't know what you're going to end up with. It could make your situation worse than what you have. But I understand the desperation involved with trying to fix chronic pain. I can't imagine the level that woman had to be at to go, I'm in so much pain, I'm going to try to eat live frogs to see if this helps. Because it might. And that's not great. So if grandma asks you to go trap some live frogs for her, maybe question her motives a little bit.
For her own good.
Yeah, she hasn't been rolling around online and caught on to the wrong website. That's not great. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. Rhonda Shear from USA Up All Night joins us next on the X-Rocks. Stone Temple Pilots, Big Empty here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J and I grow up watching cable television, and one of the things that was on very late at night on lots of weekends was a thing called Up All Night on USA. And for years, it was hosted by Gilbert Gottfried, and before that, and even tandemly, Big J, it was also hosted by one Rhonda Shear. And guess what? Up All Night is making a return. It is coming back to Kings of Horror, and it's an honor and privilege to welcome onto the show Miss Rhonda Shear. Rhonda, good morning. How are you?
I am so good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Congratulations on the return of Up All Night. How long of a journey was this for you to get back control of the name and try to make this something that is back under your shingle again?
Oh, my goodness. Here's the fun part. I've had the name Up All Night since a year after the show ended. I went after it knowing down the line, this is the businesswoman in me, that I would use it. So I'm in the intimate apparel business right now, and I've been in that business for 23 years. I have Rhonda Shear Intimates. So I've been on Home Shopping Network for many years. I reunited with my junior high school sweetheart that many years ago. We started this business, and lo and behold, it took off. I spent a lot of time in underwear on Up All Night or in sexy outfits, so it was a natural fit. So I've had the name Up All Night. I've actually have some intimate apparel under that name, which is a perfect name for a line, a sexier line called Up All Night. And then, so I've been doing that. And then in the last couple of years, a lot of people who grew up with me started reaching out to me to cast me in films where I've been playing cougars, and to either, so I got an agent and just got cast in a television show, and just for fun, feeding my soul. It's not my main job. I've been doing the intimate apparel business in it for all these many years. But then, so I went to a couple of conventions to sign autographs, and because so many fans had been reaching out. So a couple of shows reached out to me and said, we really would love to have you. You said all these fans that still reach out from Up All Night, and I have not been doing those conventions or cons. And I went to one in Knoxville called FrankenCon, and a gentleman from Kings of Horror, which is on YouTube, it's a channel called Kings of Horror, easy to find on YouTube, came up to me and he said, you should reboot Up All Night. And it's something that my husband and I had thought about, but we didn't, only because it's really hard to get the films. And I didn't just want to show public domain or, I reached out to a few friends and they're like, yeah, you can use my film, but it wouldn't have been consistent. Young filmmakers here and there, it really would have been a struggle to get the films. And that's what Up All Night is all about, or I should say Up All Night. So Kings of Horror has a parent company that has licenses 14,000 films, and not just horror films, but all films. And they license for Europe and Japan. So they have 3 channels at this point on YouTube, different channels, comedy channel, a nostalgia channel, and a horror channel. They've had it for 5 years. But they had been looking for a me. And then when they ran into me, they're like, oh, my goodness, we've been looking for someone to anchor the channel, kind of be the spokesperson for the channel, and have that main show that really turns a spotlight onto it. So it was a perfect marriage. My husband and I built, we have 2 buildings. One we used to use for a warehouse, and we no longer use it for warehousing for our intimates. So we turned it into a studio. This had nothing to do with Up All Night. It was just because I've been in the industry. There's a lot of filming and commercial filming that comes out of the Tampa Bay area. So it's for all things media, for podcasts and influencers, television, whatever. And so we built a set within our own studio that's reminiscent of the 90s set from the show. And so it was just the perfect marriage. It was the perfect great storm of everything.
Rhonda, I got to say, obviously, when we saw the opportunity to get the chance to interview, we both were super excited. We're pop culture nerds, and we grew up in we grew up in that era. We both religiously watched USA Up All Night, obviously, with you, and so we were super excited. And what I'm hearing here is that the exciting part about this is that the Halloween Boo Bash that you are presenting here on October 25th, that is not going to be the only shot here at Rhonda Up All Night, right? That's great.
No. We're going to be on in November. We have a Thanksgiving show. It's going to be a Scream Queen school, how to be a Scream Queen. We're going to have all kinds of Scream Queens and actors on that show. And it'll be very actor-driven, cast-driven, ensemble-driven. And then we have a Christmas show, and then we go twice a month after that. So we are in full production of the show. It's a complete reboot.
I love it. Rhonda Shear joins us. Up All Night is back on Kings of Horror. You can watch it at kingsofhorror.com, and upcoming episodes are all going to be on there. I got to thank you as well, Rhonda, because one of the things you introduced me to was cult movies. I have become a huge fan of movies that are so bad they're good and fun to watch over my adult life, and I can thank Up All Night for that. Was that something you were always interested in, or did that become a passion of yours as you got to host the show?
Absolutely, to be honest, as I got the show. I mean, so I am a little bit different, and so is Gilbert in that, Joe Bob Briggs is knows all things horror, writes all of his episodes. Thank God he's been out there all these years. So it's kind of different. I was more comedic-driven, sketch-driven. Of course, fell in love with the shows from airing the shows, got copies of every show. I did over 450 episodes, so USA Network sent me. It's a shame I don't have those films for my own library, but I got we hosted 3 films, Gilbert and I, every Friday. I was on Friday, he was on Saturday. So I got all the films, watched every film. Of course, it was USA Network trying to promote their library. And what's great about Kings of Horror is that they will go after any film I want. So I said, well, what if they don't have any of the trauma films. So I said, do you think you could get at least one? Because I love Lloyd Kaufman. I love Toxic Avenger. We really kind of made him back in the day. And so they're working to get a trauma film. So I have this incredible freedom that I didn't have on USA. I had to, we worked with the films that they had. So now I can say whatever. It could be a B film, or it could be a friend who just did a film. I just did 3 independent films. Maybe down the line they would want to be on the show. I don't know. But that's the cool part, is being able to reach out and showcase young filmmakers, classic filmmakers. I'm hoping they bring back some of the TNA, because this whole generation missed out on a lot of fun. And, I mean, they're like, what kind of things were going on in the 90s? So I'm going to have beautiful young ladies on the show, pretty eye candy for women, too, guys, wrestlers. There's going to be a little bit of everything, because each show will be themed. So the first show is a seance, the second is Scream Queen School, the third is Naughty Elves, with Santa and his Naughty Elves, where we have Tiffany Shepsis, we have Felissa Rose on the first show, we have Linnea Quigley on the first show. So I'm reaching out to the actors. We will be reaching out to directors, producers. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun romp, because what's like that on the air right now? Saturday Night Live, it's politics. They've gotten away from the campy, fun, crazy. They do great characters, but it's either really great or it's cringeworthy. And we're not going to have any politics. It's going to be just out and out fun sketches, crazy characters, and it's going to be just that feeling of getting away from all the craziness of the day and turning on the TV and just escaping. And that's what we want.
It sounds like a blast, Rhonda. And I wonder, how do you, kind of find the line between, reliving some of the classic stuff from Up All Night and then moving it forward into modern day type of media? Oh,
I totally want to be modern. I mean, you'll have the feeling of the 90s with the bedroom, but that's going to be my guest and the people that I have on. And so, I'm certainly not, I'm aware enough that I'm not the same age myself as I was back then. So I'm going to surround myself with a really, really rich cast, like John Brennan. I don't know if you know who John Brennan is. He was a regular on The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. He is a musician and writes original music, so he'll be writing our music. He's going to be my musical director / John Brennan and the Up All Nighters. I will be singing behind him. We're going to be doing some crazy songs. Yuki is his sidekick. So I'm going to have some regulars on the show. and then I will have a rotating cast, and I am going to celebrate young actors and people. And what we did on the show, I had the cheerleaders on the show. I had, you name it. They were on the porn stars. We had everybody, and we're going to bring the same kind of fun back that you never know what you're going to get into. You're going to fall back into Rhonda's bedroom on the show and never know what you're getting, except it's going to be fun with some classic films along with some new films that you've never seen before, because they're going to get us some premieres as well.
Cannot wait. Kingsofhorror.com is the website. They also have a YouTube channel. Bookmark it. Get ready. Up All Night is returning this Halloween. Rhonda Shear, thank you so much for the time. It's been awesome to catch up with you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I so appreciate it as well. Thank you. And stay up all night with me.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important Stuff is brought to you by Boo at the Zoo. Big J, it's back. The biggest Halloween tradition in the Treasure Valley returns. Boo at the Zoo is taking place over 2 days, Saturday, October 25th, Sunday, October 26th. Bring the whole family out, trick-or-treat candy stations, costume contests, a whole bunch more. And the X is going to be out there at the zoo handing out a ton of candy on Sunday the 26th, so you can swing on by and see us as well. Boo at the Zoo is presented by Delta Dental of Idaho and supported by Idaho Pizza Company and 100.3 The X Rock. So let's get ready for some candy fun at Boo at the Zoo. Yes, Big J?
Let's get ready!
What does the Big J spice rack look like at home?
What do you mean?
Some of this, we got one. You got some spices in there that you
Yeah,
enjoy?
we don't have a rack. We've got a spice drawer, but crap ton of stuff in there.
All right. Any cinnamon in there?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, you might want to throw it out if you do, because it could contain an elevated level of lead. Yes, lead in your cinnamon. The FDA has issued a health alert for several brands after the toxic metal was found. The agency added about 13 brands to the list of those that should be not consumed because it could cause serious health issues, especially in kids. Which makes me wonder, does that mean like all the cinnamon is made in one place, Big J, and then distributed to different brands?
Cinnamon Land?
Cinnamon Land? Is that where it's from? I know shockingly little about cinnamon right now.
Yeah, I just know it doesn't belong in chili. That's all I know.
Let's take that, Cincinnati. If you have any of the following brands in your kitchen, the FDA suggests throwing them away. That's High Thai brand, Roshni, Dura, Wise Wife, La Fontarena, Isla, El Chilar, Markham, Swad, Supreme Tradition, Super Brand, and Oriental, as well as ALB flavor. Those are the ones that are impacted by the lead contamination and need to be chucked in the garbage. I don't know, dude, when stuff like this happens, I like to throw away stuff that just might even be adjacent to it just in case. You know what I mean? But I err on the side of caution. I will say that.
You love to do that.
I do. I look for recalls, and then anything that has a product that has a recall that could be in my kitchen is in the garbage immediately.
Yeah, anything adjacent to it.
Right.
Like, get out of
Any
here.
letters it shares, all my spices that start with C are in the trash today. Cumin, get out. I don't need
Chili
you.
powder.
Gone. Don't need you, never did.
Citrus flavored stuff.
In the spice drawer, of course. The NFL has its first coach firing. Oh, wait, I did that already, dude.
Yeah.
The San Jose Sharks haven't made the NHL playoffs for 6 seasons. So they need to come up with some off-ice gimmicks to get people into the seats at the SAP Center. Let's see if any of these interest you, Big J. They're trying to do some inspiration from what fishermen use to attract sharks. So they're basically doing
put in chum?
Some food stuff. Yeah, they have a food kind of special thing called the Chum Bucket. And it features buttered popcorn mixed with strawberry Pop-Tarts, chocolate covered in teal and red coating, and then freeze-dried soft strawberries. So it kind of looks like chummy, but it's all very sweet, treaty, and salty kind of combinations. Can I interest you in a Chum Bucket?
Yeah, that'll bring them in.
Well, listen, there's plenty of people that go...
Are you ready? Let's go get that Chum Bucket. Woo!
For food in these particular areas, or at least that's what makes you kind of make some headlines. So I got to give them credit at least for trying something different and not doing like a 3-foot-long hot dog or something. They could have taken the easy way out. There's this. We did talk about it being October and the spooky season, Big J, and M. Night Shyamalan, one of the most famous filmmakers in that particular arena, and he has announced he is working on something new. This time around, it will be a television series based on the Magic 8-Ball toy. Brad Falchuk, who also does American Horror Story, wrote the script for the project. The two will serve as co-creators on the show that is being produced by Mattel Studios. Of course, they own the rights to the Magic 8 Ball. And apparently, he announced the development by posting on his Instagram a script titled Magic 8 Ball Season 1 Pilot. And he says that he's been working on it for a couple of years. The Magic 8 Ball, invented in 1946, is kind of like a fortune-telling sphere, if you will. Provides responses to yes or no questions when shaken. Additional details on casting and stuff are not being released just yet. But, of course, Mattel is trying real hard to get into the pop culture world, and they did a really good job with that with Barbie, of course. And now this is going to be their next kind of foray into it. Any interest in the Magic 8 Ball TV series, Big J, knowing what you know about it?
I don't think so.
What about M. Night Shyamalan? You like his work, don't you?
Sometimes.
All right.
I'm surprised. Maybe it's a licensing thing, but because this just yells and screams like horror movie ready to happen. The Magic 8 Ball.
Sure. But I guess you kind of have to figure out. I mean, I would akin it to one of the movies that was up for grabs today with Screaming Dumbass and Tarot Cards. You know, it's kind of along that same line, and you could see the through line to what could make that a horror movie. There's no doubt about it, a la Final Destination or whatever, something that can predict the death of something that if shaken, but who knows if it will be any good. But we do know that it will be coming soon, and you will have the option to watch it if you like. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff, your pop culture smackdown. Boy, it's next on the X.
Pop Culture Smackdown. Right. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Whoa, Nelly, I got a prize for everybody here. A pair of tickets to Garbage happening Friday at the Knitting Factory.
Man.
The last time they're ever going to play Boise, Idaho. Maybe your last chance to ever see them live. So this is pretty big, if you ask me. We'll hook you up with these tickets if you can beat me in Pop Culture Smackdown.
It's going to be a great show. Would you like to be there? Sure you would. The phone number is 208-287-1003. Of course, you're going to have to know a little bit about the world of popular culture, and then you're going to hope that Big J stumbles and falls, lands awkwardly on his front part of his body, and then you can claim those tickets during the Pop Culture Smackdown, because that's how it works. You got to get them right. You got to hope Big J gets them wrong. You understand?
Yep.
So if you want to play, 208-287-1003. Wish you all the best of luck. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Then to the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, brother. Who's this?
Alex.
All right, you're up first, my man. Lizzie Hale is the lead singer of what band?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh.
You said Lizzie Hale?
Yes, I sure did.
For shame.
Lizzie Hale, lead singer of 3,
Dun,
2,
dun.
1.
Right.
With the assist
The
from
Hail
Google,
Mary.
that is correct. Big J, what number did Dale Earnhardt Jr. race for a majority of his career in NASCAR?
I'm going to say number 3.
Wrong.
No, that was his dad. He only raced that in one.
Wait, did you say junior?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. 11? Was it 11?
Wrong.
It didn't matter. I didn't know anyways. At least
No.
I got his dad right. I
I
thought
was
you
going to
meant
say
Dale.
you had two choices.
Oh, you were going to give me choices?
Well, no, because he only raced 2 numbers, and they were pretty close for both of his career, but one...
17, one of them?
No.
Jesus, man.
Wrong.
No. Jason, do you happen to know, sir, what the answer is?
No, he barely got
Yeah,
Hailstorm
you're right.
right.
That's right. You win anyway. Garbage tickets are yours. The answer is 88.
Ouch.
The second one was 8, which he raced for the majority of his younger part of his career, but he raced about 40 more races with 88 than he did with 8. So
Man,
he was attached to the number 8 pretty hard.
I got to do some mental exercises before, just something to open my brain up, because I'm like, that's dumb. I know that. I mean, 88, that's dumb.
Yeah, you got to guado it up. You got to open your mind a little bit when you do some Pop Culture Smackdown. Otherwise, you're in real trouble.
Guado.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your Pop Culture Smackdown. We got to run the headlines. They're next on the X Rocks.
Nick and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by Be Our Guest. Big J, this Friday, 9 o'clock, xrock.com. Another deal up for grabs. This week, you can grab yourself $50 to Cop and Ross for just $25. They got more than 60 rotating taps of beer, cider, and wine. pub-style food, which is great. Sandwiches, wraps, salad, and more. They're pet and family-friendly. Cozy patio, the whole kit and caboodle right there on Orchard and Franklin. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. This week's featured spot for Be Our Guest, we invite you to check out xrock.com. Friday, 9 o'clock, got $50 worth of certificates to Cope and Ross for only $25. And grab yourself some nice adult beverages, Big J, maybe some food. You deserve it, don't you, Big J?
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. So make sure you check it out on Be Our Guest this Friday, 9 o'clock, xrock.com. Headlines are as follows. Mistakes were made. The body wants what it wants, and sounds like the start of a joke.
The body wants what it wants.
40-year-old Elijah Regan entered a 4-hour armed standoff with Washington police after officers delivered him a Dairy Queen Blizzard and hamburger via a tactical robot, Big J. Regan apparently had used a mortar to shoot fireworks into his Pullman apartment ceiling Sunday night, sparking a fire that damaged 8 units and forced dozens to evacuate. His estranged wife said that she called police saying that he called her saying that he set the apartment on fire. Of course, Big J, he had been smoking methamphetamine throughout the day. After that, he led officers on a high-speed chase in his 2012 Kia Sedona. So how high-speed could it be, Big J? Before spike strips disabled the vehicle, police found a bunch of weapons in his vehicle, so obviously they were keeping his distance. Took him 4 hours, and he said, finally, I'll give up if you can get me a Dairy Queen Blizzard and a hamburger. And they did, Big J, and so he gave up. And isn't that nice?
He just wants a Blizzard, man.
He just wanted somebody to hold something upside down in front of him for a bit. And it worked out. Of course, he's now facing a ridiculous amount of felony arson charges and eluding arrest charges. So he'll be in jail for a while. Probably the last Blizzard he'll have for a bit. Big.
I think he knew that.
Probably why he wanted one so bad. Mistakes were made or sounds like the start of a joke.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
All bartenders at some point has had to deal with an unruly patron, but none quite like this. At Harlow's Hideout in Stuart, Florida, they got quite the surprise when doors opened up at around 11 o'clock in the morning and an alligator strolled right in. That sent the customers that were in there scrambling, of course. The staff called police. Officers rushed to the scene to wrangle the reptile. It was dragged outside and safely relocated to a nearby canal. Nobody was hurt. Authorities in Florida say it's uncommon for alligators just walk right into a crowded area, so it was pretty rare for somebody to for an alligator to walk into a bar, even for Florida. But Big J, maybe they just wanted a cold one, right?
Probably.
Like an alligator walks into a bar. What does he order, Big J?
That's a great question.
Yep, that's my joke that it started. I don't have a
Boise
punchline.
Oh.
Probably an AMF, to be honest. Wrap it up with mistakes were made. Australian Catholic University registered nearly 6,000 alleged academic misconduct cases in 2024. They said about 90% of them flagged AI being used in writing papers, taking tests, those kind of things, according to internal documents. Here's the problem, Big J. The university was using Turntin's AI detection software. The company just put out basically a statement saying, sorry, the software that we released for AI detection was not accurate at all and should not be used as the basis for actions against the student. So now you've got about 6,000 different students going, hey, I tried to tell you I didn't use AI. You guys flagged me and failed me for this paper, obviously messed up my education, and now the university is reeling, the students are pissed, everybody's upset, and now we've got some real problems and issues. I guess we got to make sure your software that you grab is correct in identifying AI so that you don't, punish students that don't deserve to be punished,
I mean, in a microcosm, that's like the biggest fear that we all have, especially when you're, you're putting use to these AI things for like hiring process and all of those sort of things. It's just a disaster, man.
You could be disqualified from things you didn't even know you were disqualified from if they use the wrong software, and that could seriously impact you. And if you've ever been accused of something you've never done, I imagine it's maddening to be accused of using AI, and you're like, I didn't even look up anything on AI. Now, what are they talking about? And how do you prove that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't. And so it's got to be incredibly frustrating. I feel for you. I hope they figure this out. And who knows? This could be not the only program with that kind of issue. So maybe check and double check. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. We owe you a 9 o'clock keyword for textual healing so that you can possibly win $500 courtesy of Dollar Loan Center. We're going to do that next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TDS.
This time will heal here on the morning after with Nick and Big J. The hell? Oh. It's time to recap the morning after Fantasy Football League. Big J, week number 6 is in the books. It's all presented by McCleary's Pub, and we want to know, how did Team Big J do in week number 6?
Yeah, Nick, I was taking on the Great Bijan, and the Great Bijan, started out, he was having some issues scoring a little bit at the beginning of this game. I thought, boy, we're going to both be lucky if we get to 100 points here. He had at the helm Matt Stafford, who had a terrible game for the most part for the Rams, even though they took a win there. 9.34 points is all he could get out of Matt Stafford. Some issues with J.K. Dobbins, his running back over there in England, only got him 4 points. He did get a good performance out of Waddle, who got him 15 points. And the San Francisco fill in there for Kittle, Tongs, he got him 11 points on the tight end, and that was the majority of his scoring outside of his namesake. Bijan Robinson obviously had a huge game last night, Monday Night Football, 35 points. So that got him 101 points. Not enough to defeat me. Dak Prescott did a pretty decent job of getting things started for me with 22 points. Ashton Genty continues to do pretty well. He got 16 points there, Nick. I got 11 points out of T. Higgins, 15 points out of Chris Olave. Travis Kelce got me 13 points. I got 25 points, and it really saved my rear end last night with him attacking Bijan Robinson in that game, going up against each other. Swift got me 25 points. So that was enough to put me over the edge, 126 to 101. So I come away a victor, just barely.
How does it feel?
Feels good. Now I'm
25 points is a pretty easy win, dude.
I don't think so. That's never enough for me. But hey, that leaves me at a 4-2 record, dude.
Not bad, my friend. Not bad. What you need to know about the following situation is there was a big trade in the morning after Fantasy Football League. I was a part of it. I had traded away CD Lamb, who was my number 1 overall pick in the first round, as long with Travis Etienne, because I had some depth issues and some running back issues, and I needed something in return. I have some quarterback injury problems, and so I traded for Jaden Daniels, I traded for Drake London, and I traded for Bill, the running back from the Commanders, who's coming off of a big game. Had to start all 3 this week for buys and other reasons, and thanks to that trade, Big J, I picked up a win as well in the closest game of the week. I was taking on Team Joe Smith 87. I won 114 to 99, so it was close, but Jaden Daniels with almost 23 points for me last night. Bill didn't do much. Lost a fumble and only got me 5 points. That coupled with Breece Hall, who also didn't do much, and my running back was not great. I also had an injury to Puka Nacua that didn't put up that many points, but thank God for Drake London, Big J, coming through big on Monday Night Football with 32 points pretty much. I got 18 points out of McMillan, the rookie for Carolina as well, and that's what led me to victory. It helped that both Kenneth Walker didn't do anything for Seattle for Joe. Neither did Saquon Barkley, who's had a rough year this season, and so that did not do him any well. As a matter of fact, he had exactly 4 players, in double digits, and one of them was the defense. The Rams defense had a great, basically almost his leading scorer last week with 19. Not enough to get the job done, so I beat Team Joe Smith 114 to 99. I'll take that W, although it was not a great one. Speaking of great W's, the blowout win of the week was one Detroit, one Pride, all Grift 133. The Deadpool variant 76. That was a blowout from the word go because, well, listen, Jonathan Taylor, he had Scatabo as well. And this comes out of a player, a team that had a zero burger out of one of their wide receivers. So he was firing on all cylinders. Of course, the Deadpool variants got negative points out of their kicker. That's never going to do you any good.
Man.
Only 17 points.
Happen?
He missed an extra point and a field goal. And that's negative points in this league, the way you set up the scoring, my friend. But he did have Dallas Goedert, who had 26 points, but that was his high water mark for the week. The lowest scoring team of the weekend. He falls to 3-3. One Detroit, one Pride, all Grit improves to 3-3 on the year. Let's get to the highest scoring team of the week. That's Team Dr. Bacon. Beating Matty Ice 151 to 128. Pat Mahomes with almost 32 points. He had Smith Njigba as well. He had 30 points, which is pretty impressive. And then he also had Rico Dwaddle, who had 34 points for the Carolina Panthers. So you're talking about a team that put up 151, almost 152 points. Team Dr. Bacon, congratulations. You were the high scorer of the week. You get yourself some free goodies courtesy of McCleary's Pub. Congratulations. Matty Ice had a good game out of Drake May. Also a good game out of Jamar Chase, but just not enough to push him over the top when you're going up against a team that's putting up almost 160 on the board. So congratulations to Team Dr. Bacon. Other winners on the league this week. Del 2, Nick and Big J 0, 116. Running a chain on y'all, 91. Of course, he had a good performance last night out of Caleb Williams. Got him 19. 31 out of George Pickens, who's been a godsend for Del over the last couple weeks, giving him the victory. High score for running a chain on y'all. Should probably not surprise anybody. It's a chain from the Dolphins, who put up 31. Yeah. But he did have a kicker that didn't get him any points because he didn't realize he was inactive. I don't think any kicker would have put 20 points on the board, so I think he was okay no matter. He was going to take the L no matter what, but still a good win for Dell, who improves to 4-2. Running a chain on y'all was the number one team in the league. He now falls to 4-2 on the season. And, of course, then you got Team Cult of Josh with a 142-127 victory. High score with Christian McCaffrey, 24. Thomas for the Jags got 23, so did McConkley, getting him 23 for the Chargers. And then 32 for Josh Jacobs for Bone Thugs and Charbonnet, but just not enough to grab him to win. So Cult of Josh 3-3, Bone Thugs and Charbonnet 3-3 on the season. Big J, I can't see 2L. Who's the number one team in the league right now?
The number one team in the league is Pickle Nick.
Oh man, that's me.
Yeah, how does that work?
That's because I'm the best. 4-2.
Because you scored the most points?
No, of the 4-2 teams, yes. The highest scoring team in the league is 3-3.
The majority of the...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty close. The actually majority of the league is 3-3, but there are four of us that are 4-2. You are among them. Myself is among them. Ring a Chain on y'all is among them, and Del 2, Nick and Big J 0 is among the teams at the top. But listen, we're all crowded up there. There's so many 3-3. We're a week away from being out of the playoffs, so it's anybody's game at this point.
My team is an imposter team. So
why are you saying that?
I have no faith. Like Chase Brown and T. Higgins, like, man.
Yeah, you got too many Bengals in your team.
And had Joe Burrow been there, that wouldn't be a problem. But without him there, that is a problem. And there's not a lot to pick up out there. And I pulled off a trade a couple weeks ago and got Swift for Bill McCroskey, who you have now from Bilal. So that saved my rear end last night. So let's hope that he can, Chicago Bears can keep running the ball like that. But I'm taking on, Nick, one of those other 4-2 teams in Del 2, Nick and Big J 0.
All right, so it's a battle of one of the best coming up for week number 7. I will be taking on one Detroit, one Pride, all grit. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But thank you to McCleary's Pub. Congratulations to Dr. Bacon. Grab yourself some serious McCleary's fun, and we will come back with some bad impressions. That's next on the X Rocks. Hey, guys.
Yeah, and we've got a very medley prize for you as we have a pair of tickets to Kublai Khan TX, which is a metal band that's going to be going down at the Knitting Factory Concert House here on the 21st of October. So we'll get you set up with those tickets. That show is sold out, by the way. Here, if you can figure out bad impressions.
You want to go? 208-287-1003. It's going to be an awesome show, but you need to figure out bad impressions, which works like this. 3 clues coming your way about somebody pretty famous. If you can figure out who that famous person is in 3 clues or less, these tickets are yours. Hopefully you are happy. Big J, are you prepared?
Yeah,
Hello,
I am.
The X.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, man? What's your name?
Ty.
All right, Ty, you're up first. Good luck.
Ty, not a famous person, a famous thing, okay?
Okay.
Kids growing up in the 80s were glued to the TV watching my cable network.
Okay. Next.
The Boggles video Killed the Radio Star was the very first video ever played on my channel.
I'm pretty sure about just give me one more.
The Moon Man has been our logo since the beginning.
MTV.
Nailed it, Ty. Hang on 1 second. We'll hook you up with those Kublai Khan TX tickets. Big J, why is MTV in the news?
What is this all about? MTV is shutting down 5 of its British music TV channels, Nick. I didn't know they had that many TV channels. including MTV Music, MTV 80s, MTV 90s, Club MTV, and MTV Live. December 31st, it's all being shut down after nearly 40 years of continuous broadcasting. The flagship MTV HD channel will continue operating, but with no longer focus on music video programming, instead airing reality and entertainment garbage.
Just like it does here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rob and Big TV channel.
Were there other MTV channels like 5 and 6 and 7?
Here, well, you remember back in the day there was MTV2, right?
Yeah.
And then there was like I feel like there was another one, and then there was VH1, and then there was VH1 Classic, and so there were several ones that you could choose, and then there was like Much Music if you had cable back in the day that you could grab from Canada that also aired music videos. So there were plenty of things to choose from in like the mid to late 90s, even early 2000s. But that all went away when MTV consolidated and then sold themselves to Paramount. And then it just became one, and then VH1 also just became one. And then I don't even think VH1 is a thing anymore, is it?
I don't know. I don't have cable TV.
It's not even, I don't even know if it's on cable. Like, I don't even know if it exists in any kind of platform in any way. Maybe it's like a website or web-based or something. But yeah, it's gone. And so over in England and other countries, television, over-the-air television is still a huge deal. And so they have like BBC 3, 4, 5, 6, those kind of things. And MTV went along those lines as well. But now all of that is shuttering too. And they get our version of MTV, which is trash.
Take that. See, we just take your great programs and make them into classic shows here.
Sometimes.
And we give you garbage. What do you mean sometimes?
Well, for every office, there's like 7 other British shows that we've ruined and nobody cared about.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like what?
For sure. Well, there was one that was called like Couples that was a huge hit in the BBC that NBC thought was going to be, or Coupling, that was going to be the next Friends, and then nobody cared about that.
All right.
But it was a huge deal. But yeah, there's lots of them. But for sure, we are sorry that you get our version of MTV because it's not great at all. Doesn't matter what kind of music you like. It's not great. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks. Hi! Into Hell, wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J on this Tuesday. Thank you for hanging out with us. Special thank you to Rhonda Shear joining us, talking about the return of Up All Night. That heads online to kingsofhorror.com if you want to check that out and see the new iteration of Up All Night, which may play a big part in your childhood as it did at Big J and mine. So check it out if you get an opportunity. Also had a chance to give away some tickets to Garbage and to KublaCon TX. That's pretty awesome. Plus some keywords. That all will continue tomorrow morning. It does leave you the floor, though, Big J.
Yeah, Nick, we finally have the answer that I know a lot of people have been waiting to hear, and that is on November 18th, Raising Cane's will be opening in Boise, Idaho.
It's an official date?
Yes.
All right. You're excited for it, I know.
Sure. I mean, I guess. Yeah.
You don't care?
No, I care. It'll be nice to try every now and then, but it's going to be a mess for the first couple weeks. That's for sure.
What makes you say that?
Because of the area.
It'll be?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they have the figured out like the In-N-Out folks have when they do their openings or not, and how they're going to manage that. But it's going to be a rush.
Yeah, because it's over by the Chick-fil-A, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Am I getting it right in my head?
Okay. Yeah, to keep all the chicken places together.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch like on Chinden now over in Meridian. There's like 3 in a row in that area, and now you've got the chicken area over there at the Village where. I don't know, man. I mean, I know Raising Cane's is a big deal. I've never been, so I can't vouch for how great or how it became a thing after I moved away from places that had Raising Cane's.
All
so
this
I
stuff
don't know
became popular after I left. Weird.
It's very weird. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that are very excited about it, and I guess we'll put it on your list of places to stop, right?
Yeah.
Or some chicken, because that's all they serve, right? Is chicken nuggets and tenders.
There might be some other fries.
Yeah, fries, right?
Other stuff.
But that's, and like toast. It's all about the sauce with Raising Cane's. That much I know.
Yep.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your morning show. We will see you tomorrow. Jason Drew's up next. It's the X Rock. Injured?